Emmanuel here with a quick take on economics. What we want to do is contextualize the global trade and integrated circuits. Now, in order to ascertain the importance of a given product to global trade, right, we need to ask ourselves, what should we be looking at, right? What indicators do we begin with? For an economist, we might just begin with understanding its share of global trade, right? If global trade is valued at a specific number, how much of that was represented by a single product? Is this enough? Well, an economist might say, okay, now, if this product is taking that much share of global trade, I also want to understand how difficult it actually is to create this product. Why? Because this gives me an idea allows me to further contextualize the product because it tells me how much specialization is required to make this product, and so gives me a dimension of its importance to global trade. It tells me, can this product be made by just anyone, or does it take a certain type of persons, group of persons, network of persons, of firms, right, specifically. And not only might it take a certain network of firms to create this product, it might actually require a certain type of a political economy, right? That means it might require a certain kind of an institutional arrangement in order for that product to be produced. And finally, not only might it take a certain kind of an institutional arrangement, but all these things will come together, right? The institutional arrangement and the economic fundamentals is represented by the knowledge held by this network of firms. Together will represent the comparative advantage required, right? At least it can hint at the existence of particular comparative advantages. Now, this is very, very abstract. Let me break it down further and make it even simpler. We're talking here about making omelets or building Lego blocks, right? Everyone wants to have as many Lego blocks as possible, because the more Lego blocks you have, the more cool stuff that you can actually make, right? The more combinations you have. Because if you have two baskets and then one basket has a whole bunch of Lego blocks and the other basket has very few, the kid who gets access to that box with a lot of Lego blocks can actually make more stuff than the kid who only has access to the box with a few Lego blocks. And in a similar fashion, the street vendor making omelets or whatever other street food, right? Maybe the street food is not omelets, maybe it's chapatis, right? Whatever it is they're making on the street. If you compare that to the highest end hotel in your city, in Nairobi, that one of them might be the Kempinski, right? You compare the two. The Kempinski probably offers a much wider menu, right? What does that mean? If the street vendor of food offered me a menu that said, hey, here's some lobster, here's some prawns, here's some caviar, I've got some whatever other high-end food that you could think of, I might actually doubt his ability to produce that food. Why would I doubt it? Just instinctively? Because I know from my observations and from growing up in this particular earth, in this particular side of the multiverse, that look, it takes a certain amount of knowledge and capital, right? Equipment to make some of these foods. And I'm not going to expect this guy to be able to make it, right? I mean, if he's some undercover chef from Kempinski, that's another question. If he's an undercover chef from the local Hilton hotel, that's a very different question. Ultimately, I know that the chef in the Hilton, in the 5-star hotel, in the Kempinski, can make more kinds of interesting foods, more kinds of varieties, right, of food than the street vendor. I just know this by what I know about the level of training one of them has compared to the other one, right? The number of Lego blocks he has at his disposal. So we circle back and we realize that, look, an economist would be interested in understanding not only how much of a product is being traded globally, but how difficult it is to make that product, and then compare that to who around the block knows how to make difficult to make stuff. That's the essence. Now, if we're talking about computer chips, for example, throw computer chips into that very elaborate formula we just created together, and at least it begins to take us through the journey of contextualizing the trade and integrated circuits.